Parliament. The Senate today approved the existing states of public emergency for another month, but not after opposition member of Parliament criticized the enhanced security measures as having lost its power. My colleague Jamaica Maitland leads off this evening's major stories.
Opposition senators blasted the states of public emergency as ineffective while alluding to the recent mass shooting in Dover, Kitson Town, St. Catherine. Opposition Senator Donna Scott Motley says the enhanced security measures cannot be used as a deterrent to crime. St. Catherine has been under emergency measures on and off throughout the year. The incident took place just minutes from a checkpoint, killing 4 people and injuring 5.
If you could, with a state of emergency in place in St. Catherine, brazen gunmen would not have gone to that bar and shot 9 persons. If you could, that shopkeeper now would not be telling us that he will never open that shop again because the memories have so impacted him that he couldn't stand to go in there.
Senator Lambert Brown argues that the security members are being overworked and are tired. He alluded to a video that has been circulating on social media of soldiers allegedly sleeping at a checkpoint in broad daylight.
Nowhere is safe in the country. And then there are photographs going around, Mr. President, of members of the security forces at a checkpoint falling asleep because they're overworked. They're tired.
Senator K.D. Knight argued that there was little to no intelligent operations being carried out by the security forces. He's reminding the public that the states of public emergency are expected to bring the country back to normality.
For the SOE to be described as working, what we have to see is more intelligence-driven action. I don't see it. I don't see it.
In the end, the resolution was passed by 15 MPs, with opposition Senator Andre Horton abstaining from the vote. The SOE in the St. Andrews South Police Division will be extended until February 4, in Clarendon and St. Catherine until February 18, and February 24 for the tri-parish area of St. James, Westmoreland and Hanover. Jamaica Maitland for CVM Live.
The Minister of National Security says a collaborative effort is ongoing to address the inefficiencies of the Traffic Ticket Management System, TTMS. The minister was speaking at a handover ceremony of equipment to the traffic ticketing in the courts. Here is Christine Forbes.
Restoring and maintaining public order. That's the objective of improving and updating the Traffic Ticket Management System, TTMS. In doing so, the Security Ministry and other interagency partners hope to reduce lawlessness on the nation's roads.
A constant and consistent information sharing between the agencies is critical, because this is how the individuals who are quite smart, though the driving taxi, will escape the system. The oftentimes in the manual system, no one knows what the other one is doing. This process of work with the court management system to ensure we have a seamless flow of information from the day the ticket is written, and in fact we are moving that direction and training individuals where it is simple in today's world for a police officer to have a handheld device on which they can write a ticket.
The equipment handover to court management services will assist in administering traffic tickets through various stages. Chief Justice Brian Sykes says the move will remove a huge burden from the system.
I'm looking forward to the improved software, which is to be here, and to further streamline the operations of the TTMS that will also generate traffic warrants electronically, thereby reducing the amount of time spent by the staff preparing them. As I indicated before, the equipment will not only bolster the capabilities of the TTMS, but will also assist the courts in being more efficient in the management of traffic tickets.
The updated TTMS is web-based and will deal with payments, court fines, and the issuing of warrants, among other things.
It is simple in today's world for a police officer to have a handheld device on which they can write a ticket. And once they go with the system, it ought to be able to, by wireless transfer, get to the tax office and be recorded, get to the court management system, get to the Island Traffic Authority. When you pay this ticket, it goes. And if it stays there, you can red flag it all along the way. And we can begin to identify those individuals who are not only seeking to accumulate tickets, but before they accumulate 10, 12, 1,000 tickets, you wonder what's happening. We can apprehend them because immediately the officers on the street from the public, from the PSTB branch, public safety branch, will look on their own instrument and say this license plate number has been flagged.
Christine Forbes, CVM Live.
The Executive Director of the National Integrity Action, Professor Trevor Monroe, is highly critical of the action taken by local courts against children. He says quite often children are being arrested and jailed for crimes they did not commit. Khadija Thomas has more in this report.
There are reports of children being thrown behind bars by local judges due to what has been deemed as uncontrollable behavior. These children aren't believed to be criminals but are placed in correctional facilities, a practice which the National Integrity Action is against.
I ask you to agree with me that this is absolutely unacceptable and must be rectified in short order.
Monroe points to a recent newspaper article on the issue, citing that the previous administration had promised to amend a section of the Child Care and Protection Act, which allows the judges to commit the children to correctional facilities. Monroe is now appealing to the Ministry of Justice to provide a timeline for this to be done.
Children have no place in our jail who have not been charged nor convicted, while so many of those who are guilty of stealing our public money and guilty of corruption walk free across the land and our children are in jail. Not acceptable.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Justice, Delroy Chuck, made a commitment to examine the issue. According to him, there must be greater focus on deterring children from wrongdoing.
I can tell you that in the Child Diversion Act, Section 24 of the Child Diversion Act really overcome that section in the Child Care and Protection, so that when the Child Diversion Act is implemented next year, we're going to ask judges to use Section 24 of the Child Diversion Act and not that section in the Child Protection until we repeal it.
They were speaking at a Justices of the Peace training session at the Police College of Jamaica in Twickenham Park, St. Catherine. Khadija Thomas, CVM Live.
A mother is calling out the Kingston Public Hospital for negligence after her son died in their care due to dengue-related issues. But to add insult to injury, neither the doctors nor nurses know when the child died. CVM Live's Jamaila Maitland spoke to the distraught mother, who said she is still in shock and hasn't slept since.
Oh God, somebody help me, Jesus. Why, my baby gonna live 15-30 birthday.
Camille MacDonald wails after recounting the last moments with her son at the Kingston Public Hospital. 12-year-old Mark MacDonald tested positive for dengue by doctors on Tuesday. According to the staff, his case was not an emergency. The child had sickle cell and asthma, which was relayed to the doctors when he was admitted.
She tell me, say it confirmed, say I have dengue, and one of the plate dropped from the dengue. So I said, what kind of plate? She said a plate from the dengue one drop, and she watching it.
The mother said upon visiting the child on Wednesday, 12-year-old Mark was feeling a little better. She said she was given permission to stay with her son, the youngest on the ward at the time. She left just before 11 p.m. But the mother, who was getting ready to visit her son on Thursday morning, got an unexpected phone call. It was the hospital.
Oh God, I can't believe it. I'm really good. sir, tell me the truth. I really don't want and him say yes. Oh, God. Me said, Doc, when me pitney there, he said, come, I want to talk to you and then came in the room. Me said, Doc, tell me the truth. Where is Mark?
The mother theorized that the morning nurses found her son dead. She argued that no one checked on Mark after she left. According to the doctors, Mark died between 11:30 p.m. on Wednesday and 5:30 Thursday morning.
He died between 11:30 in the night to 5:30 in the morning. You have a child with sickle thalassemia, asthma, and a case of dengue. How can a child die? You don't have a clue what the child died. Where was the nurse at the time when the child was there lying? Want assistance?
Mark's dengue-associated death adds to an increasing number of similar cases across the island. The case echoes reports from the public criticizing what it describes as the inadequate response at public hospitals. The Ministry of Health has relaunched its dengue awareness campaign. However, with a shortage of blood at the blood bank, increased demand for medical attention, and understaffed hospitals, how effective is their mandate? Jamila Maitland for CVM Live.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness is now in Japan for another official working visit, which included a bilateral meeting with the Prime Minister of that country. The aim of this trip is to further collaborate in areas of trade and investment, technical cooperation, commercial ties, capacity building, culture and education. Robian Williams reports on this venture.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness says he intends to further solidify the 55 years of diplomatic relations between Jamaica and Japan. Addressing a Japanese delegation, Holness highlights that climate change poses a threat for both nations.
Climate change spells disaster. We certainly value the strong support Japan has been providing to Jamaica and other small island developing states of the Caribbean region to develop climate-resilient communities, adaptation strategies and technologies.
While calling for more robust action on climate change, Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe, asserted that they will continue to aid in environmental issues, one of which is the replenishment of the Green Climate Fund. Japan recently donated 2 maritime patrol vessels to Jamaica, which is expected to boost the country's ability to secure its borders.
This offer, which was finalized today with the signing of an exchange of notes, will significantly enhance Jamaica's maritime security and disaster response capabilities.
As it relates to trade and investments,
we have agreed to do more to encourage trade and investment and have already taken steps in that direction with the signing of the double taxation convention between our two countries a short while ago.
Japan is set to host the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo from July to August of next year.
Jamaica is looking forward to the Games and to fielding a strong contingent in